Hey, what's going on, folks? Scar here. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at a very small fraction of my Tyco collection. Believe it or not, I do collect Tyco. I have a very, very large collection of Tyco. And I just kind of wanted to do a different video while I'm finishing up the Challenger, which is very, very close to being done. So let's just get right into it. If you know anything about Tyco brown box, what's in front of you will look pretty interesting, to say the least. We have a 630 in the back, two GP20s up front, and then a Sharknose in the rear. So let's go ahead and talk about these pieces, and I'll save that for last. So starting off, and also, by the way, these are a little bit dusty. I keep them on shelves for display. I don't run or operate any of this stuff. These are, I mean, it's Tyco, but these are just more collector items than anything. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. First thing here is this GMNO, which stands for Gulf, Mobile, and Ohio, a GP20. This particular locomotive is a very rare version of the Tyco brown box GP20. I believe this locomotive came out in 1982. It was a 1 year only. I think it was a 1982 year production, but I'm a little bit unsure. I can't quite remember that, but this is a very, very rare Tyco brown box piece to find. Like I said, you'll just have to pardon the dust. I haven't had time to really dust these pieces off, even though I should. This is probably one of my favorite paint schemes that Tyco's ever made. It's so beautiful. They did a really, really good job on this, and again, it's just one of those really cool, rare collector pieces. This obviously has a power torque drive, and it's just a really cool piece there. The next thing we have here is this very elusive Western Pacific GP20, which is also quite rare. This was a 1 year only production in 1982. Tyco also made a matching Western Pacific caboose to go with that, and if you have one of those, congratulations, you have about a $500 caboose. I have a Western Pacific prototype caboose that I bought at an employee auction several years ago. It's not displayed here, but I do in fact own one. This particular locomotive is pretty nice for its age. There's a few scuffs and scratches, but overall it's in really good condition. Everything here works too, by the way. I do keep my locomotives in very good running condition. Again, power torque drive. The paint is really well done. I love the striping on the nose. It's very beautiful. And again, just a very rare Tyco piece to find. Typically a locomotive like this will bring upwards of around $200, if you can believe that. Yes, $200 for a Tyco GP20 with a power torque drive. The next thing here that we have is this little Sharknose. I actually bought this about 8 years ago off of eBay in a lot of other model trains. I paid about $20 for the lot, and this was in it. And the whole reason why I wanted the lot was because this locomotive was in it. This is an extremely rare 1982 1 year only Sharknose made by Tyco. This has such one of the craziest paint schemes that they've ever made for a locomotive. Really just something to behold there. That is it's quite the collector's item of Tyco brown box trains. Just a really cool cool locomotive. I'm not quite sure what the price is on something like this. I would wager $200, maybe even more. These are a lot more rare than the GP20 and or the GMNO and Western Pacific GP20s. I have seen very, very few of these locomotives. They are quite cool and quite a cool Tyco collector's item to have. So I'll move all these out of the way, and we'll get to this. Now, you might look at this locomotive and think to yourself, well, Skr, it's just a regular old Illinois Central Gulf 630. What's so special about this? Well, if you look closely, you'll notice that the trucks are black, and I believe all of these were sold with silver trucks, all of them with a power torque drive. This locomotive is one of the very few early production locomotives that Tyco made that has a Rivarossi drive in it, and you can read more about this online, but this was right before they developed the power torque. I guess before they were able to get all the tooling. Well, they probably had the tools by then. Probably before they had everything worked out, before production could really start. They shipped all of the early 630s with a Rivarossi drive. And what's really, really neat about this particular example is that it is sealed in the package still. I'm not going to take it out of the brown box carton, but but it's still sealed with the original handrails. And that is a really special thing. I've never seen another one that was sealed before. And this is just a really awesome Tyco collector's piece that I'm really, really fortunate to have in my possession. I paid a whopping $40 for this locomotive. I also found it on eBay several years ago, and it was just listed, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god. So I bought it instantly. And you can see very early Tyco kind of a side stamp here. I forgot what year they initially released the 630s, but I believe this would be an early 1974 production. And that's really all I have. Like I said, the Challenger is almost done. I need to finish installing the left side handrails onto that locomotive, and then it will be completed. So stay tuned for that. It is coming. I promise. And that's it. So have a good one.